my purse right now.
And when we got to paint, everybody was like we all just said it at the same time. We was like, woo.
Hi, my name is Gail Harrison.
Hi, I'm Gail, and you're watching.
You got me on the tip.
I'm talking about you need to count your blessings out here. Let me tell you why he like that though, because in Hollywood, see, Hollywood be fooling you. You know what I'm saying? Hollywood will fool you into thinking that everybody else is, you know what I'm saying? All the if you talk to a black woman in Hollywood, oh, if she was just a black man. You know what I'm saying? If you talk to a black man, oh, if he was just a white woman. You know what I'm saying? You talk to a white woman, oh, if she was just a white man. You talk to a white man, oh, if he was just a plus-size black woman. You know what I'm saying? Everybody think everybody else is getting on out here before them. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, let me lift up this microphone. Honey, do you understand what I have to go through to get ready? I works, okay? Not work. I works all day long. And I'm talking about today I worked especially hard for this episode. Because let me tell y'all something. Last week, I'm turning this light around. Last week, I talked about Candace Owens. And I don't know if Candace got a whole bunch of fans out there or a whole bunch of AI bots, but they set my comments on fire. Now, the question was, okay, I played the video of Candace saying she's disappointed in the Trump administration for what they do in the Gaza, how they treat the Muslims, you know. And I just said, pose the question that should the black community let her back in now that she rolls back her support for Trump? Now, what y'all got to understand is this is a comedy show, okay? So we going to be funny out here. Now, because y'all was so serious all week, I mean, I'm talking about people was coming in the comments, honey, and I was laughing up a storm. People are serious about Candace Owens, okay? And the thing is, first of all, Candace, let me apologize to you for doing the jazz hands when I was like, should we let her back in? Because we probably related. Owens is my family last name, okay? So today, I'm going to make the show it's all about Candace, because the thing about it too is I feel like, you know, we are pitted up again. Like when a person has strong opinions like Candace, we could take one fact. You know, I don't even follow Candace, you know, all the way, but I just remember during the time of George Floyd, you know, you running with this is a democratic narrative, and I'm just like, sis, at the time, you know, this man family is grieving. This man just died. I don't care how he died. I don't care what was going on. You know, I feel like respect this man. Like respect this man. You know, I don't care which, but anyway, we're gonna cover that at the in the show too, because it's one of the clips that I pulled up. But I haven't really followed her page since then. So it was so interesting to go back and to watch some of the clips and to pull some of the clips for the show so that we could discuss it. I brought on my two most eclectic friends. I don't think that they're from different sides of the spectrum, but they definitely have different thought processes. But these are both the voices of reason, you know, women of God, okay, because that's what I am, a woman of God. And they are both women of God who think for themselves and We don't think like a collective. Now, I do want to respond to this one comment. This one girl, a couple of the black people in the comments that was for Candace was like, I'm embarrassed. Y'all talking about shit we let her at the cookout. Be, and I just want to say this to those black people, like, guys, get over yourself, okay? We don't, first of all, we're not embarrassed for even talking about it because I love myself. I'm an educated black woman and I know how to laugh. And let me tell you something, if you're not laughing, sis, you're probably sick, okay? And when I say sick, I'm talking about physically ill, because laughter is the cure to everything, okay? I mean, if you laugh, you will cure so many things. You will first cure the stress in your mind. Once the stress in your mind is cured, your like, once you reduce stress, that leads to so many health improvements, organ function, blood pressure reduced. Them two things right there alone will give you more life. So basically, sis, you need to be laughing more. I remember one time I was in Brooklyn. And I was working for these other, like, I was working for, there's the Candace kind of black people that's at one extreme where they're just like, you see them where they're just like, guys, we just, we love the Republican Party. You see them for the spectrum. Then you see the other kind of black people that's like on the Black Panther. They like, we don't even got no party. Nothing in this country is for us. So I was working for them. Child, I tried to, everybody else doing poetry, in poetry, honey. If they not trying to take the man down, they trying to take some woman down, okay? Because sexually, because that's what every poet, that's what every poetry show is about. If they not trying to, they not trying to stake out the man, they trying to stake out the punani, So anyway, I get to doing comedy for them. This lady looked at me. So I was like, why are y'all so uptight up in here? What is going on? She was like, ma'am, we don't laugh. It's so much going on out here. We ain't got time to laugh. I was like, ma'am, let me get out of here. Ma'am, y'all is poisonous out here. So I just want to say that when you're looking at this show, you're looking at a comedy show. Okay, we're going to be debating stuff. But today I brought the full-fledged Candace. It's Candace Day. Okay, now, but before I get started, honey, it's Gail. It was Gail Day yesterday, okay? Gail went to space. She rang that bell. And I'm going to bring my two guests in to discover it because, honey, Gail, did y'all see Katy Perry out there too? Did y'all see Oprah out there? Let's get this video on. StreamYard. Come on now. Let's get the video on. Let me play the video. Okay. Come on, anytime now, StreamYard. Let me add it again to the stage. Oh, no. Come on. Okay, anytime now, StreamYard. Stop. Maybe it was because of that message. All right, well, y'all get the message. Okay, Gail was out there. Let me bring in my two guests. Dag, I was trying to play the video, but maybe they got some kind of block on it. I don't know. I was trying to play the video so y'all could see Gail out there reading it. But did you see it? Did you see her out there? Gail was out there. Okay. First of all, thank y'all so much for tuning into the Dale Show. I see y'all in the comments already. Shout out your city. We are going to be looking it up. Nikita Wills. You said, sorry, it took so long. Wayne Payne, is you out here? So, Nikita, Wayne, thank y'all for joining on. Thank you, everybody, for looking at it. And let me bring in my two guests because, honey, we is going to pop off today. And I just absolutely love it. And I just hope these videos ain't acting up for, for other. Hey, Stacy, what's going on? Longtime friend of the show, regular panelist. Today, I have with me my very good friend who we used to host a radio show, but child, we done stopped the radio show because we done wrote a film. We having a table read tomorrow. She out here in LA. Baby, since I met this girl, we have been busy every year. Stop playing, okay? Y'all making me get to New Orleans on y'all. We've been busy every year. You hear me? Stop playing. So anyway, I have her in the building. I also got my homegirl who was living out here in LA, but she said she's taking her talents over to Atlanta, and right before y'all logged on, she was about to tell me that the Lord called her to do something else, and I can't wait to hear about it. Meosha Bean and Sha Hayes is in the building.
Hey, say hi, everybody. I'm on live. I'm back on live. Say hi to everybody. Hey.
Hey y'all on live, and I might need you to shut that live off so your Wi-Fi can look better. Okay. Actually, I might
I'm
need you to wipe your
unstable.
screen off. I might need you to
look
wipe
ashy.
that computer. Yeah, you might need to get a little, but see, it's looking better, but you might need to get a little piece of paper because the finger be leaving a fingerprint.
I look ashy. You trying to say I look
No,
ashy?
no, we can't look ashy.
I
All
need to
this
pull out some
melanin.
Diddy baby oil. You trying
While
to say I
you
need to
get
pull out
that
some Diddy
paper,
baby oil?
while you get that paper to wipe off the screen, Meosha, you are definitely greased up out here, Meosha. Wait, your sound is off. You are on mute. You're on mute.
Here we go. Hi.
Meosha.
I am so happy to be here. It's so good to be here on your show, babe. Thank you for
Thank
having
you
me.
so much for coming in. Yeah, see, Sha, that's so much clearer. Thank you so much for coming in. And I
Absolutely.
just cannot wait. First of all, now, before we even get started on Candace, okay, because y'all know it's Candace Owens Day on the show, okay?
Candace
In the
King.
comments, it's Candace Owens Day on the show. So y'all, we going to go through her clips and we going to discuss them because we going to get this sis a fair chance because I'm going to tell y'all, when I was looking at the clips, I was like, okay, I mean, she making sense on that one too. Like, I think she almost turned me into a, I don't know if I can say I'm a fan because some of the things, because some of the things is just like, well, why would you say, I don't know. I feel like when people are so hard up for like these parties, I was talking to Sha off camera. I feel like it's a team. It's no more than the Eagles versus the Patriots. You know what I'm saying? They just going hard for the party because when you're in this country, especially as a person of color, somebody gave me the flight. Oh, okay, thank you so much, Sha. Especially as a person of color, you've been both parties have harmed you in some kind of way or have done some things that are harmful to the community in some kind of way.
Country.
Yes, but before we talk about her, guys, Gail King went to space. Did y'all see her ring the bell? Did y'all see her ring the bell?
That went viral.
I know.
Her concerned look was just like.
Yes, no, Gail King was out there looking scared as I don't know what out there. Did you see it?
I did not see it. I was busy doing other things, so I didn't get a chance. But I was. Okay. I saw screen grabs of her face, so that told it all. That said it all.
Okay, well, let me just put up the picture right here because I'm mad that I didn't even I did all this work and didn't even put the pictures in here so y'all can see it. But let me just put the first one. Okay, there was an issue with your file. Y'all give me 1 second.
Everybody just Google Gail King's face.
Y'all just do because I need to get the photos up in here. Because that's what makes the show
viral.
So
it was
fun.
Everywhere, right? Everywhere.
Yeah. Yes, it was. But that's how we get to talking about it over here. Is I be having all the pictures up in here, but just give me a second because I gotta get Candace pictures up in here anyway, so we could just discuss her because she would not get off the hook. No, she won't. I mean, not that she needs to be on any hook or anything, but still, Gail, let's get up in here, Gail. I don't know why
it's kind of crazy because like they were like the first women to go to space, right? Was this like the first historic thing? Going on? Yeah.
It was 6 of them. I was trying to add it to the show where you could see it, but this video would not play. StreamYard. This your last time right here. Doing me wrong live, StreamYard. Because the thing is, when you're wait, hold on, you on mute.
I said, you want me playing on my phone and hold it up on here?
I mean, you know what, Sha, I don't want to have to do that when I'm paying for a service every month. Okay, I need you to work when I tell you to work, StreamYard. let me try again. I just deleted some stuff because the thing is, I mean, come on, y'all. Okay. I mean, I'm just about to be real upset tonight. Maybe the Lord don't want me to talk about Candace.
All them bots, they done sabotaged your all them fans and people of hers. Like
okay, I'm gonna have to do it. I'm gonna just have to just do it. Okay. Anyway, the question is, Gail King, would you have done it or not? Would you have went to space or not? Sha, what say you?
I'm here for outer space experience. I mean, listen, you only live once. And if somebody else is flipping the bill to take me out of space safely, let's go. Let's go.
No, that bill flipping is where it's at, you know?
Yeah, listen. I mean, what other opportunity you gonna go to touch the moon and come back down? Yeah. Now only rich people things, and I'm trying to do rich people things.
You know what? I'm a sky. At first, I was like, I don't know, but I'm such a sky watcher. I'm like, let y'all get 2, 3, 5 more trips up in there, and yeah, if they offer it to me on some kind of comedy show I'm doing, they're like, this is one of the perks. I'm like, hey, I think I'm gonna go to space and watch the sky.
Exactly.
Up close in person. Meosha, what say you?
I do it. I do it if 10 minutes, not bad. That's not bad. I do it.
I said, why not? Listen, if we can fly on Spirit, we can go up in space.
I cannot.
Why are people hating on Spirit? Why are people hating on Spirit? Spirit gets you there on time every time.
Because it's a can
with wings. Got no record of flying and crashing. Okay, you got all these fancy planes. Black Hawk down. Okay, they ain't never been no Spirit plane. You see what I'm saying?
I get that. That's the aluminum cans. Them aluminum cans we used to use for grease. They could be in the family handed down.
Put it in the comments. Would you have gone up there or not? Would you have gone to space or not? Kiki said, no way, Jose. Them people didn't get stuck up there. Yeah. Stacy, what would you? Stacy looking scared in the comment. That's what that comment said. Okay. Shawnee is in the building. Kiana is in the building. Stacy's in the building. Wayne is in the building. Nikita Wills is in the building. Visual Strength is in the building. Visual Strength been in the building because the question was: is Candace Owens? Is she smarter than the black community or too far gone? And somebody wrote, she's too far gone.
No.
Oh, okay. Wait, you're agreeing with me?
Yes. No,
okay. I want to hear her point of view.
Here's my thought. Here's my thoughts. You know what I think about Candace? Candace is someone that I feel like is, and this took me a while. I didn't discover her until my brother kind of introduced me to her. My brother is, I think my brother is Republican. But I'm not Republican nor Democrat, right? And I voted for both at one point. You're commenting.
No.
I like.
We're trying to say objective. Go ahead.
No, and I personally, I'm the kind of person that's like, I feel like when you are a free thinker and you're not controlled by what society says or what Black community says or whatever community says, and when you're literally guided by God, you're gonna ruffle some feathers. If you're liked by a lot of people, then I think you have a problem. Right? Was Jesus liked by a lot of people?
No, Jesus was definitely hated by a lot of people. But Jesus also wasn't being like, let me just say this for shock value. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely. Comment. And I feel like as the human experience, though, because we're human, we're not God, of course, we're not trying to down the cross. Yeah. What I'm saying is, and not to say it as an excuse, but like I feel like we're all learning, and we all should have given grace. Like, look at Kanye. I mean, this guy is like,
yeah.
On another level, he says some good things, and some things I'm just like, what is he talking about? You know? And I feel like everyone has those moments of, I mean, we're not always right? And I feel like, I think I understand what she's trying to do, and I think she has it takes guts to have these conversations with Republicans, Democrats, talk about your beliefs on such a large platform that she has,
Yeah.
where most people wouldn't probably do it because they think, a fear of being canceled, talked about, ridiculed, certain positions that she's taken. And I think, like, at the end of the day, like, that takes cojones, like, and I feel like for us to be free from the system of, Dale, this very well, like in the entertainment business, like a lot of people are fighting for their voice. A lot of people before us we're talking about these things, right? And we just want to, and I feel like if we can't talk about the hard things, then how can we get
what do
to
we have
some
to
type
talk
of
about?
resolution? Exactly.
Yeah, no, we definitely have to be able to talk about the hard things. Okay, well, since we're already on, okay, because the comments is going off and I see y'all, since we're already on it, let me just play this first video, please. Like, I don't even need the pictures. I can ask all the questions myself and just put it in post. Guys, okay, let's just go ahead and play the first video, and we will just get, analyze what Candace is saying clip by clip.
Okay.
And I might have to. This is crazy. It's a StreamYard. Now it's a StreamYard problem. Oh my word! I don't know what to do.
I mean, we play it on a video on a phone.
No, hold on. I might have to do this, y'all. I might have to go out for a second and come back in. Okay. Hold on, because I might y'all stay in too, but I'm gonna have to.
Okay.
I can present too. I wonder, because it says present on my end, so I wonder if I present. If you could share the link in the chat, can I pull it up from there? Okay. Well, we're here.
Hey.
Hi. Well, I was gonna say, once I was gonna wait till after the video play, but
yeah, no, because
that happen.
It's me coming back, and because the thing about it too is it's the videos. I want you to see her words. I don't want to, I don't want to superimpose any of the words.
Okay. Yeah.
But
somehow I can't get it. Okay.
I'm telling you, Candace Owens fans came in here.
Came in here. The Candace Owens fans that came in here, and they have done something to my videos. Okay. All right. I am upset about it.
Can you drop it in the chat real quick? I just want to see whether or not if that works or not, because I can.
No, because see, I downloaded everything. That's why.
Got it.
Let me see. Okay, I'm pissed off now. All right, it's all good.
It's all working out.
Yeah, it's all working out. I'm just gonna hold on. Just give me 1 second, y'all, because I'm like, what is going on with this?
Yeah, my second stream, y'all used to be on the point.
It's always on point until I started talking about this girl.
Look, find something else to download. And if that works, then we not talking about her no more. if whatever else works when you upload it, then it's her.
I'm like, okay, documents. What's going on with the documents? Okay, iMovie. All right, so let's just delete something real fast, because I'm like, I'm gonna just have to delete, because I've been blogging and I've been doing all this. Y'all, thank y'all so much for sticking around, because I really want to play the videos. Okay, hold on, just one second. If not, then I just want to do it.
Do you like Candace Owens?
Are you talking to me, Sha?
Sha? Yeah, Sha.
Okay.
I really need you to come to Paris.
It's playing. It's playing. Okay.
Like, I think he's doing his clothing line. Doesn't tell me why at all. It's just like, I really need you to come to Paris. Doesn't tell me why. Like, I think he's doing his clothing line. Doesn't tell me why at all. And then when I walked in and we jumped on a plane, went over there, he just had the shirt and was just like, oh. And I instantly understood it, obviously, because this is the whole point. You keep saying, you keep patronizing Black Lives Matter, Lives Matter. And then when people say, like, what about other people? You're like, it's implied that white lives matter. So then this shirt is not going to bother you at all, right? At all. If we rock the shirt, because you're going to be like, yeah, of course white lives matter.
Yeah.
People were bothered by that shirt. Of
course.
Were very bothered by that shirt, right? So it proved a point in a very artistic, Kanye, brilliant way.
Okay, so now the question is, and I'm so glad because now I didn't need none of these pictures. I could just put them all in post. I just added a banner. So the question is, you heard her just saying why they were wearing the shirt, the White Lives Matter shirt. When it comes to White Lives Matter, is this something Candace is saying for a reaction or is it reality?
Of course, it's reaction because she's saying at the height of what all that's going on during the Black Lives Matter. We know why we're saying this. Do we have to scream to the top of our lungs about why Black Lives Matter? Because we're still fighting for our life to matter. And the fact that from someone to align a narrative behind why lives matter to say, oh, that because that means that all, but then that means that you're disregarding the message and why we're making it such a big message that needs to be important for us to say, because our lives have been denigrated and we've been disparaged and taken back, and all the things we're looking at right now that's still happening in our society is still going on because no one actually thinks that our lives matter. And it makes no sense that a woman of color like herself would align herself with something like that to disparage the point behind Black Lives Matter.
Okay, is it disparaging? And I finally got the picture up. Good googly muck. White. Guys, I don't know if y'all know how much of a tech I am, but I was going to get these photos up, okay?
I'm excited. This is great.
Not Candace versus trans. Candace, it still ain't even the right picture. Guys, okay, let me take the picture down. Okay. Let me take the picture down. Let me take the pictures down. Okay.
But here's the thing, she knew that was going to get clicks. She knew that was going to sensationalize. She knew that was going to get something that was going to get, because why do you not quietly do something and say no? And he knew to choose someone like her who makes comments like that about Black people and align herself with a narrative that would go against what Black Lives Matter meant in that moment.
Okay. And now, Meosha, I'm gonna let you go. I just want to say this. You know, it's true that white lives matter. We've never questioned that. We've never questioned it. I don't want to see anything happen to my white friends. I would wear a White Lives Matter shirt. I would wear a Red Lives Matter shirt. I would wear a Blue Lives Matter shirt. I would wear whatever, because I think I need to make a shirt to say we all matter. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it too is we do have to call attention to a problem that has been happening within our community, and the media highlights it. Maybe if the media was highlighting police attacking white people, police attacking other, yellow people, then yeah, we would probably have to wear a Yellow Lives Matter shirt. But I think what strikes me as the anti-Black Lives Matter movement is when I see a White Lives Matter shirt, I just agree with it. Yeah, y'all do matter. Why are y'all disagreeing, or why do y'all feel the need to have to challenge a Black Lives Matter anything? Like if we're saying Black Lives Matter, it doesn't mean white lives don't matter. And I think that's where you got to challenge yourself at when you see a Black Lives Matter shirt and you don't instantly be like, why would they be saying Black Lives? What's going on in their community? You would immediately be like, oh, what am I, dog chop? Because white lives matter. You know what I'm saying? When I completely agree. White lives, they do matter. Meosha, what say you? And y'all put it in the comments.
I agree with both of you guys. I absolutely think, Black lives do matter. But I feel like what Kanye was trying to do was trying to take us out of the race war. Because for so long, we've been in this same conversation for many years. At some point, we have to kind of get out of that so that we can actually make change, right? Because it feels like when we do something, we go kind of back in our community. And I'm not saying everyone, I'm saying collectively, sometimes it can come off as like, woe is me. I'm like, okay, that happened. what do we do about it now? How do we change it now so we don't go back or we have to break the generational curse, right? Like those things that because how long do we say woe is me when we in our community can come together, because there was once a Black Wall Street that was very profitable and then was destroyed, right? And I think if we can get us as a mindset collectively thinking outside of the race war, which is, I think, the big conglomerates and the big corporations, they want us to keep us divided because, and we're even divided in our own community. We don't even support our own stuff.
Every community. I think that Black people look at other communities and they be like, wow, they all move as one unit together. No,
well, China.
No, China is making its older people retire to make way for its new people. China is also making it so that you can only have one child. Is that them sticking together? You can't even have a second child. Like y'all, so
I agree with you.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying is, so we look at it like because the thing about it too is when you look at us in the kingdom, people move separately, period. You know what I'm saying? So no one is going to all move to a collective. Now, I feel like where there's a Black Wall Street, honey, you have these conglomerates like the government. They have attacked every piece of the Black unity together. And now y'all coming along to say, okay, let's end the race war. But how is White Lives Matter ending the race war?
But here's the thing.
Can I just add to the fact of this? Let me just say this. One, right now, the majority of this country is still white people. And the fact that we would even have to identify White Lives Matter, and the fact that the majority of the economic wealth are still sitting with white people, like that, the disparity of like that in itself is why we still have to yell out Black Lives Matter. And it's not about a woe of me. It's about the fact that there's still not equal distribution of wealth in this country. That's why we still are talking about this. That's why there's still a conversation that's aligning to the history of this country, which is meant to keep people of our lineage and Black people in a certain kind of pocket. That's why this country is so right now hard pressed against taking away programs that are supposed to be meant for DEI, because they know that aligning us with things that allow us to get wealth, closer to wealth, is what they know power is tied to. They know that. And that's why I'm saying that we need to stop allowing ourselves to be taken away from the fact that the narrative behind Black Lives Matter is about people assigning their mind state to the fact that Black lives are still not being considered in the same vein as their counterparts like white people are.
Okay. I agree. And I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. I just think at that is not going to get us to Black Wall Street. You know what I'm saying? That is not going to get us to where we were at one point. I feel like at the end of the day, I feel like, yes, we acknowledge that is real. But I feel like what they were trying to do was trying to show like, okay, and I'm not saying I agree with everything, but I understand what they were trying to do. Was it poorly executed? I get it. All lives matter. Blue, like you said, Dale, red, anything. There's Native Americans who still need land as well. There's a bunch of people. Now, I agree with you. I feel like it instead of us going off saying this is what we need to change, I feel like we need to fix the community and amongst ourselves, the dialogue, because we can't even get together our own selves. And I feel like that is an issue in itself. And that's if we,
go ahead.
No, I feel you. And I hate to cut you off, but I am a talk show host. And we got to move on to the next segment. Okay.
Absolutely.
First of all, guys, if you're listening, but to continue the conversation, because all of this is going to tie into each other. Guys, if you're listening to this show right now on playback, first of all, if you listen to the show right now, share this live with 2 friends. Guys, I'm building up this show and I just can't thank you guys enough so much for subscribing each and every week, coming and being in the comments. I'm going to get to the comments in just a second. If you're looking at it on playback, hit that subscribe button right now. Guys, not right now. Right now. Now it's just so much faster than now. Okay? Hit that subscribe button right now. So today is Candace Owens Day on the Dell Show, and we're going over all of her clips. right now we just played a video of Candace and Kanye wearing their White Lives Matter shirt. And, I just asked the panel, do they agree? Is this reaction or reality? And I just want to, pull up the picture. I was trying to pull up the picture of Candace and Yee but of course I can't find it. I don't know where. Guys, today is not my technical day. Like, I worked so hard for this.
This sister been working hard, y'all. Trust
you do, Dale. You do.
I just want one picture to appear when I say it. Okay, I just want one picture to appear when I say it. So anyway, let's see what the comments said when it comes to first of all, LaShawn Denise's best friend is in the building. She said, Candace is the modern day Omarosa. Her objective is to stay relevant, good, bad, or indifferent. T said, exactly, Sha. She said, we don't need to fight or state the obvious. When folks were saying all lives matter, people were mad too. I mean, all lives do matter. The thing about where the disenfranchisement comes is, guys, let's get the all lives. If all lives matter and white lives matter, let's get that going on before the Black Lives Matter thing even happened. Let's get the love movement going on. Why are we bringing this up at the time where the Black Lives Matter, where these people are trying to bring light to a movement to bring light to the disenfranchisement of police brutality of Black people? Mm-hmm. So yes, all of it matters. Everyone matters. Okay, but you're bringing it up, and I, Meosha, I agree when you say that let's open up the conversation and let's get a strategy. But then I have to think of how is that strategy effective? What did that strategy do? But let me just finish reading the comments because we can just talk 10 more. He said she's very strategic and intelligent, and I do congratulate her achievement. Black girl magic. We don't have to talk White Lives Matter. It's obvious. They don't have to fight for anything. Okay. Yeah. Acknowledging White Lives Matter is not getting us to anything. T is on it today, but fixing ourselves falls under Black Lives Matter. Absolutely. I mean, I feel like it does too, but I do feel like it is, we do need all the races participating in Black Lives Matter because that's how you influence, the change. But the thing about it too is, and that's really where my mind goes is, if I saw a whole bunch of white people that say all white lives matter, I would just agree with them. I wouldn't see, but I feel like sometimes people see a whole bunch of Black people wearing Black Lives Matter or Black, brown, whatever, wearing Black Lives Matter. And then immediately they'd be like, well, why did their life get to matter? You know what I'm saying? So it's no one is bringing that. No one is doing it. That they're doing it because people have been gunned down, So speaking of gunned down, this is what Candace had to say about George Floyd. Father, help me with this clip, please, Father.
Well, I was going to say, why you're pulling that up, I just was going to just say really quickly while you're pulling the clip up. I mean, oh, you got it. There you go.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say my whole issue is, can they get their own intellectual property? Can they get their own idea? Like, why does it have to be white lives? Like, Black lives was out there. Can it just be like, white people consider us too? Well, like, why does it have to be the same thing?
Really quick. If it didn't matter, then why can't someone that says Mexican lives matter? Would it still be a problem if a Mexican said it?
I'm saying get your own branding. Get your own branding. That's your problem. Y'all
well, that's the thing.
Get your own branding.
Collectively, Black people are one of the top, most entertained. We are the culture, right?
Yes.
And everything. So makes sense, right? That's what it is.
So you're saying they always steal everything. So this is no
everyone.
Different.
I mean, anything. I mean, we are the culture. If you know your history, if we really know the history,
we do know the history.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, like a lot of, I know you guys do, but like a lot of us don't really know who we are. So we don't even know our identity. We're like, oh my God. So that, we're trying. But when you really know who you are, it's like it makes sense why a lot, people fought. It was actually, I read an article that music, number one, fashion. I mean, it was just, it's the list goes on. If we have all this influence, if we're not getting the credit, there's a reason why we're not getting the credit. Because if we get the credit and we get in the industry, I think it's deeper than just race. I think it's about placism. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's placism.
What are you defining placism as?
Meaning, like, it's about yes.
Okay.
Like, I didn't hear you, Joe. You got cut off. You made about what? I couldn't hear.
She was saying about keeping people in their place, like and of course that's what the propaganda is about. It's like
exactly.
you stealing the inventions and then not giving people the credit.
Michael Jackson.
Keeps people thinking that only one people are capable of thinking of something when we know that's not true. Okay, let's move on because we got so many other clips. Okay, we were talking about George Floyd earlier, and here's what Candace had to say about George Floyd
before an election.
Okay.
Well, it's easier for me to say that you hate black people. And,
yeah, I know. It's easier for the media too.
Kurt, you want to say something?
Yeah. So, my girl's from Florida, so she's, I don't want to say white trash, but if I had to guess, they're not going to say the Asian guy's at fault when they got a white guy, right? Am I wrong?
No, the Asian guy as well was.
Stop playing.
Whatever she said.
They got a white guy, right? Am I wrong?
No, the Asian guy as well was.
Oh my God. Okay.
By the media. If you go watch my documentary and see the different angles from when he was quote unquote on his neck, he was actually in a police position that they're told to put people in. That's on their, it's basically from where you're sitting. If I do this, it looks like I'm holding the back of my neck, but I'm not. It's actually my upper back. And further, which is even more astonishing, George Floyd asked to be put on the ground. They tried to arrest him peacefully for a very long time. And then he said, I don't want to go in the police cruiser. I don't want to go here. I can't breathe. I also showed his prior arrest where he said the exact same thing. He said, I don't want to do this. I can't breathe. So he was a repeat offender in that city who had used that same language. Even the lie, by the way, that he called out for his mom. Never showed you this. That was his nickname. I want mama. That was his nickname for his girlfriend. He had a Caucasian girlfriend, also ironic, given this was all about race, who testified that was her nickname. And in previous arrests, he had said the same thing. I want mama. I want to call mama. And that was his girlfriend. So there were so many lies that were told. And the thing that was so sinister and evil about it was that it led to full division in our society along racial lines, people hating each other. And the media was complicit in it, right?
Okay, so when it comes to George Floyd's death, she says that the camera angles don't show that the right thing, that this man wasn't on this man's neck, he was on his back. And I was trying to show you the part where she said that he died of a fentanyl overdose. He did not die from this man putting a knee on this man's neck, and that it's asinine that Derek Chauvin is locked up for this when he did nothing wrong and the Asian guy did nothing wrong. So is this to get a reaction or reality?
Can we just say that in order for her to keep getting streams and clicks and interviews, she has to be contrary to the narrative that everyone's positioned and aligned with, which is a police officer was responsible for the death of a black man, whether he was on drugs, called out his girlfriend, his mama. This is her job. Her job is to be contrary to the narrative that's spun out here, because that's how she keeps. If she go on and say, oh no, this man, he should be locked up, then she's not gonna be, because her viewpoint has to be in contrast to what everything that's in line, that's streamed out here, that's put out there, because that's how she's getting paid to do so. I don't know whether she believes it or not, but her brainwashing and her mentality is in line with that thinking and what a lot of the stuff that's spewed out here on Fox News and all these conservative television shows. But a lot of what she's doing is also ensuring that she gets being brought on these shows. She can sell books. She can put a documentary. She has a whole documentary, which I knew nothing about.
Right. Okay. Right in the comments, Wayne Payne says, the black community doesn't accept intelligence. Ooh, Wayne, what do you mean by that?
Yes, Wayne.
Let me find his page right now because I'm about to give him an intelligent person.
No, but the thing about it too is this is what Candace people were feeling. They said she's too smart to be in the Black community. And I'm like, sis, she don't have no choice. She's Black. She's in the community, whether she likes it or not. And the thing about it too is if Candace was to go around and ask every Black person, you know what, guys, it's been hard. Can I just go to the white? Every Black person would be like, yes, please go to the white community. You know who wouldn't let her in? The white community.
Yeah.
Acknowledge that you was not white. You know what I'm saying? So the thing about it too is that's why you stuck with us, even though you it seems like you can't stand it. But I don't want to even say that about it. My whole reason, and let me just say this too, my whole reason for talking about this is because I do want to shed the good light on Candace and shed the parts that we disagree with, because she is our sister. She does deserve a fair chance and a fair opinion, as opposed to being somewhere where you have this one experience, this one thought, and anything she says is irrelevant because you're still stuck on the one thought. And I know that has been for a lot of people, but then you hear things like this and you're just like, sis, this man, like, I don't care what kind of drug he was on. My father used to be on drugs. Do you think he deserved I would want to see a video of my dad floating around with a man on his neck or on his back or whatever. And the thing about it too is this why you deserve to be in jail is because you watched a man scream to his death, and you could go home and get something to eat. You deserve to be off the street because you just let this man die. You didn't say, all right, that's it. He screamed, nothing in you said, okay, is it too much? I don't care who he called. He gonna call out for whoever. So this was his last words. So, but you get onto TV and you get onto these interviews and you defame this man's family, defame the way he died. And maybe it is all true, but where was your compassion at, just as a human being? Where was your compassion at to now get on there and say, I'm just so sorry it even happened, that we have to be divided.
She basically saying he deserved to die. Her comments are basically saying he deserved to die and this police officer had nothing to do with it. That's what she's basically saying.
Meosha, what say you?
I kind of disagree, guys. Okay. The reason why I kind of disagree because okay, let's go back entertainment wise, right? In the entertainment business. Dale, you're in the entertainment business, and you know how crazy this business can be. I went to school for cinematography, so I went to school and I did music videos for like Justin Bieber, all kind of people, Billy Idol, whatever. Okay, Chris Brown, and I got to see the behind the curtain, like all the other stuff. We're sold a picture. Right? Who, first of all, when you break down the systematic system, who owns the news? Not us. Right? So there's always going to be a depiction of something that is contrary to what we feel is fair. That's just a reality, because who owns Hollywood? As we know, Jewish people created it. If you go back to history. Right. So again, it goes all the way back beyond us. A lot of this stuff is
feel you.
But what does that got to do with her words and how she talks about that?
And when you think about it,
the action of this man, and this, Meosha, I'm so happy that you're on the show today because we need these eclectic opinions, so that we can have a full, well-rounded discussion. But this is what I'm saying when it comes to a human being. This man is screaming to his death. Did you have a script in your hand? Because the media can show us whatever they want, but did you have a script in your hand? Did you have a script in your hand? Because if you had a bit of a soul and you hear a person, I can't even hear a dog screaming across the street before I be yelling out my window, let that dog go, because I know it's somebody beating a dog. So if a human being is screaming out, honey, that ain't Hollywood. That's you having no soul in there, and you can just hear this man die, and then you as the person who is the commentator, can get on TV and you can say, okay, well, he was on fentanyl. Where is your compassion for his family, his kids, his whatever? I don't care if he's on drugs. When someone dies, I don't be like, was he Republican? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I agree.
I am sad for his family and that they have to go through that. Okay, Meosha, go ahead.
I agree. And you're absolutely right. You're 100%. Both points. Absolutely 100. I don't disagree. All I'm saying is the media is there for a reason. If we don't control it and they do, there is a depiction they want to show us to keep us separate so that we can have these conversations and dialogues, because they are profiting. I'm talking about the seven families that own the world, that control what's happening in our world, the race war, keeping us down until we get out of that and think outside of the matrix, right? And wake up and take the blue pill instead of the red pill and see from a construct. And not saying that what happened wasn't wrong, because it was absolutely wrong. I felt horrible for the guy. I was like, holy crap. But that's the thing, is they will choose someone, right? Like to take the fall and to create a narrative to keep us divided of like, oh, it's about race. No, it's beyond that. It's about control and power.
But I think we would have had that same response if it was a black police officer on his neck. It's a man who's screaming out. Of course, it's a heightened, more sensationalized depiction when you think about historically how black people have been treated, one by the police and then two by white police. But I'm saying in that moment, to utilize that as a way to create a narrative to say, because this man was on drugs or he was his history of crime is a reason why he should have been treated in an inhumane way. There was an EMT on site who was on site who was asking, could she help him before, while she saw that this man basically losing his life. He refused to allow anyone to administer care for him while he stood there with his knee on the back of his neck. There's no version or no angle of that video that you could say, no matter what this man had gone through prior or his rap sheet, that would allow the police officer to stand there and do what he did and not have taken accountability for that by actually being.
Even if you just let up, whether you was on his back or whether you was on his neck, even if you just let up. But then also too, because I'm bringing it back to who the show is about, Candace Owens, my feeling like in this case, it's reactionary because again, where is your compassion? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Where's your compassion to say, listen, I think so sorry. You hit the airwaves immediately. It was like, that was a democratic narrative. Okay, sis, this not the time.
I know, but she's trying to show you the tactics. Because they want to keep us in feelings and emotions. That's how they win. Does that make sense?
Candace,
it is horrible.
But who's the day?
Show me all the tactics.
The people that control the world.
After the case is closed. Let's not start on the tactics when this is the time for compassion. And that's what makes us feel like you know what I'm saying? That's what makes us feel divided when
I agree.
Meosha, I don't want to hear about tactics if something happened to you. You understand what I'm saying? If something happened to me, my family is not going to hear about tactics. Okay, let's go to the comments. When it comes to Candace, George Floyd's comments, is it reactionary or is it reality? Guys, first of all, somebody is responding to Wayne saying, T said, Wayne, that's a lie. Sam says, hold on. Gwen says, please, Candace. Stacey said she should have missed that issue. Okay. Sam says, am I ready for Easter? Yes, I am. Okay, this is not the time. See, this is what I'm talking about. Timing is important, Sam. You don't ask me about Easter when I'm talking about no, I'm just joking. Okay. Says poor insight on your part, Candace. She said Candace Owens is a beautiful woman, but she should end her career. T said, Wayne, that's a lie. Is that what we are calling smart? Well, I am calling her smart. I do not disagree.
She's very intelligent.
With being a very intelligent person. I just do feel like sometimes you do things because, see, you know, people harm their own communities because they can strike at their communities because they can read their communities very well. That's why white men kill white men, black men kill black men, Asian people kill, because you can read your own community very well and you don't have the fear of repercussions when you're harming your own community. And that's what I feel like you do, you know, with these things right
with
here.
Intent.
You said with what?
She's doing it with intent. She knows what she's doing.
He says, Samuel Griffin says, I love the black
What do you
community.
think she's gaining? What do you think she's gaining from it?
Notoriety. She wants to be famous. She wants to have.
She's already famous.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
She's been canceled many times, though.
You have to maintain fame by creating a narrative that, in order for your name to be continuously a part of the circular of social media and clicks, in order for you to do that, you have to keep saying stuff that's to sensationalize the news media so that she can be a part of the narrative. She wants to keep constantly being part of the conversation. Is it possible that
she actually thinks differently?
She just write books. Why aren't she just writing books and quietly talking about her narrative?
She is writing books. She is right. Exactly. That's and Sha, that's also my point too. First of all, back to the comments. Shawnee says you're correct. Sam says black intelligence is great. Hi Meosha, hi Sha. Every black man and woman are professional business people. No such thing as a black person being unemployed. Speaking of dogs, how's your dogs doing there? They're doing fine, and I have not had to tell them to shut up that one time, and I'm glad, okay, because I told them to shut up before we started. You said, hilarious. But it's about race, and we can woke ourselves out of that. Okay, you said that same thing. Black people need to be treated like human beings, not criminals. People don't have compassion until it's them or their loved one. And that's really where, you know, I get concerned is you got black kids. Now, you know, they're with a white man, but they still going to be black kids. They're still going to be, stop. I wish I had this other video. You said, child, Tyrone heard her. She on get back with our community.
I agree.
My cousin said the problem is not that Candace is
she has black parents.
I know, and that's what I'm talking about. And I like, you know, the problem is not that Candace is smart. The problem is that she lets them use her intelligence as a weapon against her own people. I honestly, I feel like she wants to. I feel like Meosha, you're right when she wants to wake you up to the narrative. But Sha, I feel like you're right when you say she is also wanting to get famous. So, you know, when you want to wake people up to the narrative and you have a desire for notoriety, that's where you could pick the timing of a George Floyd death to be like, no, y'all, they just doing this and showing y'all the wrong angles just to keep us divided from an election. Okay, they doing that on every election at every single time. But, you know, to me, it's the time to have the compassion because I don't want to hear about tactic when a person just lost their life. Sandra Bland, Amadou Diallo, Abner Luima, they all were involved in police brutality. She talked like she intelligent. Many make any voice sound good, but that's not intelligent thinking. Okay, Meosha, what were you gonna say? Let me move on to the next video.
Nothing. I wasn't gonna say anything.
Okay, here's the next video that Candace has. Okay, right here. Lord, so many videos, but I love it.
Of what happens when it comes to DEI and what he is remarking on is true. I would be terrified if I got onto a plane and I saw a woman flying the plane. And I know that we have the United CEO saying that he just wants to fulfill a quota. He just.
This is the kind of stuff that I'm saying right here is what I mean in terms of her making comments just like that. Carol Hobson, look her up. She's a Black woman pilot that I had the honor to interview, who would take such disrespect to that comment. And the fact that she would think that a woman who has to go through a vast amount of training to get certified to be a pilot, they don't just hand it out like they handing out lollipops at a candy store.
Yes.
You don't just get a pilot's license just because. You have to have training. So comments like that is what takes her intelligence down to the bottom of her shoe. Because the fact that she would have made that comment is so ignorant beyond her. And
because what do you mean? You're definitely not being like you in the mailroom. Pilot, come on.
Right.
Exactly. What did so what was the whole thing about? What did she say that was
of
like
what happens when it comes to DEI. And what he is remarking on is true. I would be terrified if I got onto a plane and I saw a woman flying the plane. And I know that we have the United CEO saying that he just wants to fulfill a quota. He just
to fulfill a quota. Okay. I get that part, what she's saying. But I understand
Explain that. Explain why do you get that part?
Okay. She's saying that like you're just hiring a woman just to fulfill like a space.
You're not hiring any woman though.
That's the thing.
Pulling a woman from the mail room.
But not only
from that
women
clip,
make
I don't
up
know who they're hiring.
Pilots. They make up less than 1%. Because if that was the case, if they were really doing what quota should have been, the margin should be a lot wider than 1%. They make up less than 1% of pilots. So that means they're not just handing them out and being like woman, 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 man, 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 woman. That's
but also, I think what you have to what we're trying to say, Meosha, is even if you're filling a quota, like let's say you are filling a quota, you're like, okay, I have all men, I need to pick a woman. You're not picking any woman from the 7-Eleven and putting her in the cockpit. This woman has had extensive training as a pilot and is a certified pilot. So in that case, you're a certified pilot, meaning like pilots only get to take the test one time. You know, they have to pass it the first time because they don't want your pilots having to take the test 2 or 3 times to land. So you got to pass it the first time. So that means that woman, to have a pilot license, she passed it the first time too. She's just as good as anybody else. So yeah, let's get someone in there who is diverse, who is a woman, who is a Black woman, who is a Black man. You know, so when you say things like that, it's just like, okay, he's not getting anyone. He's getting someone that's qualified.
Well, I guess I agree. I agree with you. I don't disagree. I just wish I saw the full clip of what she was saying and in the context, because I feel like it was, you know what I mean?
See angles, because he might have had.
I'm an angle person.
He might have had his knee on her back and not on her neck when he hired her.
All I know is that most planes fly themselves, and that just means that's just a job they're trying to keep women out of, just because that's the bigger part.
I mean, you got to know how to land. You got to know how to operate the equipment. You got to know how to take off. You definitely got to know how to get instructions over there. But you know, you are trained. You're not just hiring someone. You know.
But you know what I think about? If anybody's ever seen the show *Handmaid's Tale*, she's that. If you ever watch that show, like literally, that is an alignment of what her mind mentality is. She's one of the kind of people who believe men should be in charge, white people should be in charge. You know, there should be a class of people that are aligned with like making the rules, and people should follow these rules. Her mentality is just that way, because for her to say that, and being a woman, tells me that she believes that there's a place that women, she would take us back to the 1920s when women had a place and they had to be aligned with a man in order to get a house and a bank account. That's just her mentality. And in addition to how she thinks about race, it's that viewpoint. And that's one of the reasons why she's aligning herself with the Make America Great kind of stuff, because that's that mentality. They want to take us back to a day where certain people were in their place, women and races.
Speaking of that, a man, and I'm not a man, but if I was a man, I wouldn't hire a woman. I wouldn't do it. And I say it all the time, and I say that, and that is something that women need to consider when they're talking about this stuff. When you are saying that a man complimenting you and saying, I really like your outfit today, is a form of sexism. What is if you're a man, why hire a woman, right? So you fought all this time to be able to get into the workforce, only to say these are going to be the rules. You know, if you say anything, even if you compliment me, if you look at me, anything, I'm going to have a reason to fight you. And by the way, you're going to want to settle and pay me, because even just the stain of an accusation is enough to ruin men. So
listen, is this reactionary or reality?
This is reality.
I want to hear from y'all out here. Okay, it's reality. It's reality. Okay, what say you, Sha?
It's reality for why the narrative is what it is. In terms, again, there is a disparaging as far as of the numbers when you look at who are still running companies, who are CEOs in these organizations, because that kind of thinking is aligned with misogyny. The thoughts behind women are not qualified enough. We can't run because we're too emotional. That's why we can't become president. We're too emotional. But yet we can have an idiot orange person in the White House who spews out all racist hate at any given time of day. But yet a woman is unqualified because her member is not the same as a man. It's insane to me.
Y'all put it in the comments. Is this reactionary or reality?
If I was a man, and I'm not a man, but if I was a man, I wouldn't hire a woman. I wouldn't do it. And I say it all the time, and I say that, and that is something that women need to consider when they're talking about this stuff. When you are saying that a man complimenting you and saying, I really like your outfit today, is a form of sexism. If you're a man, why hire a woman, right? So you fought all this time to be able to get into the workforce, only to say these are going to be the rules. You know, if you say anything, even if you compliment me, if you look at me, anything, I'm going to have a reason to fight you. And by the way, you're going to want to settle and pay me, because even just the stain of an accusation is enough to ruin men.
But yeah,
she has a point. I can see
she has a point
with that, because but also to men, why do y'all have to say anything? You know,
well, because they're men.
Let's get okay, but just because.
But I want to hear Meosha what she say. She said that she has a point. I would love to hear what you feel like her.
I mean, think about it. If you look at it, take yourself outside of it, and if you were the man, right? Men, you can't say, "Oh, you're beautiful" anymore if we're it being taken out of context anymore, or like, "Oh, wow," you know, that's their nature. We're just saying, hey, don't say that anymore. That's what a man is. We're
so
trying to tell them what to do.
No.
And I'm not saying be explicit with
guys,
it.
come on now. We love a good compliment. Stop playing. Hire me, okay? Because you can tell me I'm beautiful all day long. Stop playing.
But some women are extreme with it. You know that, right?
The copier. That's when all them I'm beautifuls come into the courthouse, when you try to grope me at the copier. But
yeah, when you're
passing me by and you're saying, "Oh, Dale, you look gorgeous today," it's no problem. It's those, you know, if somebody is taking it further. But I could understand what she was saying. I could understand what she is saying to a man, because obviously she's talking to a man when he's saying, you know, they can't say anything or they'll be at risk of suing. But the thing is, hire somebody, come in, be professional. You don't have to say anything. Okay, save all the I'm beautifuls for your girlfriend, for your wife. You don't have to say anything.
Why are you objectifying? Why are you objectifying a coworker? Why are you in the conversation we're having at work aligned with anything about me, and then to align it to be because he's being a man? So then as a woman, we're sexual beings too. So if I walk up to my balls and decide to grab on him and grope him, is that fine? Because I'm a sexual being, so I should be allowed to do it too as well. We're doing the boys will be boys, men will be men, and that's okay.
Okay, Meosha, go ahead.
No, I agree with you, but it's not. Men and women are wired differently. Our natures are different. We will never understand the man of a mind, mind of a man, or men will never understand the mind of a woman. Absolutely. That's just how God created it. So we're different in that spectrum. But men are visual. Right? So they're going to be like, wow, you look amazing, beautiful. And some women could, because society says, oh, that is wrong. That is sexual harassment, you know, because they say a compliment is, I've even heard women say a compliment is sexual harassment. I'm like, bro, the guy didn't say your you know, your lower part is beautiful. But
think about it from this standpoint. I hear what you're saying, but I'm just saying to you that if I'm a woman and I'm in a workplace, and I am in a position of authority, and I have my subordinate, and I walk up to them like, "What up, shorty? You looking fine today. You got that paperwork? Oh, turn around. Let me see how you look from behind." That's okay.
That's different.
It's not.
That's different. I'm talking about just like, wow, you look beautiful today. Have a great one. How you doing, Susie? You look gorgeous.
But
or how you doing, Brenda?
Why am I objectifying my coworker? Why am I making even a comment about that? We're in the workplace.
We're in the workplace
because they're men.
Susie no, we don't allow you to be your lower self on the job. Everyone has to
even your boss who hired you is lower level. He's just being nice to hire you. He's the same as the other guys in the room.
Something called respect. Everyone has it. I'm not somewhere being like, your kid is sexy. You understand what I'm saying?
That's just what it is. one says sexy. What about beautiful? Is beautiful wrong? Is that wrong?
We're sexual beings, and that's what I'm talking about. It's respect. Even if you're like, even I go to an older woman's house and she has a nice looking son that's my age, I'm still going to be respectful. It's respect, and that's what you have to have in a workplace. Comment. Gwen says it's reactionary. She says men hire women all the time and can keep it professional. So,
but I think I think that's part of the narrative that we keep allowing to say that men are not allowed to be disciplined and have self-control. It's like saying that it's okay that their behavior is this way because it's aligned with who they are in terms of gender. And I'm saying in this professional setting, especially because here's the thing about it. There was a time where men were allowed to say you're beautiful, you look nice and all that kind of stuff. But that's because women were being objectified. They were only seen for the way they looked and not the way they thought and how they could present themselves. And so
do you think that's a woman problem, or do you think that's society?
But that's a self-control problem. You as an individual,
how did it change?
In kind of certain setting,
it changed because people got tired of it because men were going overboard. Yes. The thing about it too is if every man was just like, Meosha, you look beautiful today, and they were going back to the copier and doing their job, but some man took it too far, and a lot of times that's what happens. A man will start saying how good you look, and then you'll just kind of laugh it off because you're uncomfortable. And, if you're a person like me who's been molested, so sometimes you don't know how to just confront a person because you're a secret keeper. And men who are predators, they know a secret keeper all day. And there's a lot of them on the job. So sometimes the secret keeper just be like,
and that's why
you see what I'm saying?
I present myself as a mass femme to stay safe in this business.
But why do you have to do that though?
Hold on.
No, that's the business of the industry because the industry is effed up.
Now, the thing is, control yourself, okay? Don't nobody got to be dressing up like a man just so you don't tell me I'm beautiful. No. Also, wait, pause right now. If y'all listening to this and on playback, hit that subscribe button right now. Guys, y'all see what it is, okay? We be out here talking every week about different topics, and I always have two very special guests on. Tonight, I have my very good friend, co-writer, everything. 17 years we've been rocking out, creating so much good stuff together. Sha Hayes is in the building, and of course, I've got talented filmmaker, photographer, artists all together. Meosha Bean in the building, y'all. And this is our last topic of Candace Owens because it's been Candace Owens Day. And I just want to say, Candace, if you ever see this, of course you won't, but Candace Bots, I just want to say, we opened up the door to the Candace clips because of the comments that was on the last video. And I want to have a real discussion about some of the things that she says. Candace is our sister. I don't have to agree with you, and I don't have to, I can sit down and eat dinner with Candace because I sit down and eat dinner with a lot of people I don't agree with, but I do, just in all fairness to her, just to discuss what some of the things that she says and give the two different sides of the spectrum, which I didn't even know it was going to be two different sides, but I knew to invite two people who were very well rounded in their thought process. And I'm so proud to have you guys today. So here's the last thing here's the last thing, because normally we do the show for an hour. Of course, the comments are going on. Will he tell his female co-worker she was beautiful if his wife was present? You better make a point out here.
Come on.
Make a point out here.
I would.
No.
Hold on. Let me get a microphone right now and drop this joint.
You better take up your studio.
Let me get a microphone right now and drop this joint, because you better make a point.
That's healthy though. If you can do that, if you can do that openly, that's healthy. I feel like that's healthy relationship. You
stop.
Did we just have a conversation the other day about this open marriage, open stuff?
I'm an Aries. I'm an Aries though.
That's the only reason why. She's aligning Aries with open relationships.
No, I'm a fire sign, so I'm just open. Just like we're like direct people, we're just like open. Like, I think if you cover things up and you like hide things, that's like I'm a direct person. Be direct.
Okay.
We can talk about anything.
Stop right here. Stop right here, because I'm about to me and Sha went to this party. Okay.
Okay.
And this guy was like, me and my best friend was traveling the world, and we just really fell in love. And I just knew it was her, and I just knew it was right. And where's this picture at real fast? Hold on, let me find the picture first. Dag, I don't know where the picture at. Dag. Okay, well, anyways, forget it. But I'm just like, okay, so forget it. Okay, that's what it is. So anyway, he was like, I just fell in love, and I came home and I was sleeping with 5 different people, and I just came home and I just told all of them, it is where I met somebody, and maybe we'll get together here and there. So of course, Sha says, because I'm just like hunky dory Dale. Let me get something to eat at the party. You know what I'm saying? And Sha was
I got
like,
to turn to Oprah.
how did you stop that? How did you go from that to monogamy? And he was like, we just have an open marriage. We never have stopped. And we've been doing that for 13 years. And that's when I came home and I was like, Lord, I'm okay with not having somebody right now until you get me somebody, because people just be out here just dealing with, they just be out here.
Well, there's this new thing now called ethical non-monogamy. That's a new title now.
I saw it on the dating sites where all the married men are, and I
Right.
was just like, sir, if you don't get off this site getting AIDS to bring home to your wife.
But the problem is they got this pill that make AIDS be vanishing invisible. Nobody care about that no more. They're like, what? We actually have AIDS? Oh, come on, it's fair game now. That's what that was.
Oh my word. Okay, guys, I don't even want you to have to take a pill for nothing. Okay. Can we learn our lesson with the first STD we got? Okay. So
that's like a one-a-day vitamin. They like just add it in the mix. They don't care.
Okay, so the question is, okay, and y'all put it in the comments, and I'm just gonna put it right here. Can you have a happy, healthy? Oh, I got open wealthy. Hold on.
I would be open and wealthy. So no.
You see what's on my mind. Okay, it's always something about wealth. Okay, can you have a happy, healthy, open marriage? Do you think that's even possible? Can you have one? Y'all put it in the comments.
I'm gonna start with it as a person who's been newly divorced. Absolutely. Heck to the no. No, you cannot have a healthy, open marriage. Sorry, I got my family and dogs here now. And I'm saying to you, because I don't care who's agreeing to it, we're not going to comply with the fact that you get to get booty on the side. Oh, excuse me, kids in the room. Close your ears, children, on the side. And I'm going to be in compliance with that. That ain't happening. Not in my household.
Okay. What say you in the comments? Okay, let me put it right here. Can you have a happy, healthy, open marriage? This man say they've been together for 13 years. He said he don't even want to step out like that. But if it is, they've got rules where they can't exchange numbers, they can't do this, they can't do that. Excuse me. What say you, Meosha?
No.
What?
You guys are hilarious. You guys are hilarious.
I just knew you was gonna go the opposite way with that.
You thought so. See, that's the mind thing,
Unethical marriages are ridiculous, and they're only for the Black community. Like, yeah, I thought you was gonna bust out one of them. Yeah,
you're hilarious. No, I don't think so. I've had a few situations in my life, and no, for sure. No.
Well, here's the thing about it: it's marriage. It's one thing about you're dating and you're, everybody's clear on what the situation is.
Yeah,
once you get married, I believe in the covenant. The covenant should be covered for that, and that's the main thing.
God.
Don't get married. Don't get married.
Yeah.
First of all, marriage is not aligned with that. Like that's just what what's the point of getting married? Stay out there.
Yeah.
Stay out there.
Also, too, you can't even get to know one woman over 50 years. She's just constantly surprising you. So how you gonna keep on introducing all these other souls to the marriage? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Then you bring
Right,
home
right,
a
right.
evil soul to me. Now I gotta go out and bring home a soul because you brought home a soul. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause we
We
gotta
titting for tatting.
we gotta equal soul it out here. If we gonna, I can't have you out souling me now. You
No,
know?
all
Right.
day.
Right.
All day.
Exactly.
Let's see what the comment said. The comment said, if he don't have nothing to hide, he can do it. Oh, no. That's what for the last comment. No, Stacey said no. First of all, these comments was sleep. The comments was sleep until I said, "Can you have a happy open marriage?" Then everybody just woke up with a no. Sean said yes. That's called polygamy. Ooh, you feel like you can? Okay. You said, not today, Satan. The devil is a liar. I'm a happy and my legs are always open in my marriage. That's the
Good
closest.
for you.
Amen.
Good for you, baby.
Amen. Exactly.
That's right. She said the happy and the healthy and the open. That's the only thing we gonna get is my heart is healthy. I'm always happy and my legs is always open. That's all we get in this marriage. Guys, I just cannot thank you guys enough for coming on the show. And I just can't thank you enough for my audience who comes each and every week. Y'all, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button right now. Okay, hit that subscribe button right now. Make sure y'all come every single Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. We do this each and every week. And I always bring two of my amazing guests with me. They're always friends because, guys, I like talking to my friends. Like, you know, when Candace is available, Candace Owens, maybe we'll have her on the show. Because look, one of her people told me in the comments, they was like, y'all just idolizing Kamala. I was like, sounds like you idolizing Candace. Then they was like, oh, somebody was like, I have an opinion. I was like, well, would you like to come on the show to discuss it? They was like, invite Candace. And I was like, let me just take a deep breath. And then hopefully Candace will come one of these days.
Hey, never know.
You know, but hopefully we'll go to lunch first and then she'll come on the show. But either way,
hey girl, she gonna be in the background like, girl, I don't believe none of that stuff I say.
Yes. No, she gonna be cool as a fan. She gonna be like, listen, let me tell you what you do. Okay, this was coming up next week. Okay, you see, you go on there and you say the exact opposite what everybody thinking, and girl, you gonna get the subscribers and all the white people gonna be following you, and you do stand up, girl. So they really gonna be following you. All you guys do is say something. And then she gonna be like, I ain't even married to that white man, girl. Please, I don't even know.
I'm gonna
husband. I found him on rent a husband.
You guys
I left the White House. That is it. I don't even like him. Like, talk about it, please.
Hilarious. That's so funny. That's great.
She gonna take off a whole face and she gonna be like a light-skinned woman. Like, what?
Cut it out.
She's gonna be like, girl, because you know when you're doing this business, you need to stop.
Dale, that's in your next special, Dale. You have to use that. It's so good.
Yes.
Oh man.
Candace, we love you. Thank you for giving us so much material tonight, Candace.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And I just really appreciate it. So, you know what? God bless his sister on her travels, because the thing about it too is we all Candace at some point in our life, and whether we disagree with you or not, we still sending you the love. You know what I'm saying? So, so I want to say this again at the end of the show too, because the last time I asked a question, I was like, should we let her back in? And I was doing it like jazz hands, like she's samboing. But that was just me trying to be funny, and I really apologize about that, because no, sis, I respect you all day long, especially after looking you up. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Please, Meosha, tell everybody what you
having us
and where they can find you.
I'm on Instagram at Meosha. That's MEOSHA BEAN official. On Instagram, and you can just type in my name, Meosha Bean, on Google, and find me with all my tags. I have a project called Church Hurt, so check it out. Coming out this year.
Yay! And Meosha, stay on after I after this outro go off, so we can see what the Lord got for you. Because I can't wait to hear it. Sha, tell everybody what you got going on, where they can find you.
Yes, I'm on all things Sha Hayes. So that's just as you see my name, ShaHayes. Also, make sure you check out. We're going to be coming out soon with a new project. Don't want to talk too much about it, but keep us. Make sure you follow me on everything Sha Hayes, at Instagram, Facebook, and all the things, so you keep up to date with all the projects we got coming up.
Guys, that is my friend, the beautiful Sha Hayes. First of all, I want to thank you so much to the comments. Stacy, Cabrina, my cousin, my best friend, LaShawn, my auntie Gwen, my ride and live, Samuel T. Thank you so much, guys. Wayne Payne, thank you so much for how you added to the show. Kiki, Kiana, everyone that came in the comments. Visual Strength, God bless you. And guys, please do me a favor and follow me on everything. Lord, I am Del Harrison. Okay, you can find me on Del Harrison. Hit that subscribe button right now. And if you need to get in touch with me, get in touch with me. I am DelHarrison.com. Candace, this way you email me at here to invite me to lunch.
Right.
Okay. So when you pull off the mask, then I'm gonna be right there and we can go to okay. Oh my word, it's been so much fun. Thank you guys, and I will see you soon.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
I'll see you guys. Bye, y'all.
Nice meeting you.